Hello guys, welcome back to Sports Corner GH. So the season is about to come to an end for most of the leagues, and then as they are coming to an end, I decided to do my own research, and I found out that about 10 Black Star players clubs are on the verge of relegation, and this is very serious, my friends. This is very, very serious. We could literally see about 10 Black Star players whose teams might go on relegation. This is already Kamaldeen Sulemana and then Mohamed Salisu's team are gone. So imagine adding those players. That would be 12 players. That's almost like, a first 11, if I'm not lying, first 11 with an extra player. Yes. So you can just imagine what I'm talking about. It's crazy. I mean, our Black Star players are playing teams, but their club teams are not really doing well this season. And we are going to go through this list of mine. We are going to go through these 10 players and what are the possibilities that they could probably stay in their league. And I hope this information helps you, especially those who stake bet. Charlie, this information is very important because as we are getting close to the season, it's mostly the relegation teams that are going to win matches. So don't let the odds deceive you. Okay, don't let the odds deceive you. When you are staking bet, stake with your gut. Let's look at the team that needs the points the most. Those teams usually turn out to win, especially during the close of the season. Now, let's take a look at this list. But before we take a look at the list, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please make sure to subscribe, Sports Corner GH. Please make sure to share the link to others to see. If you share the link, I promise you, you win bet this weekend. And aside that, if you have already subscribed, thank you very much. And thank you for watching me this moment. Now, let's look at the list of players I believe their clubs are at the verge of relegation. Now, the first player we are going to look at is Andre Dede Ayew. Yes, Andre Dede Ayew. He plays for Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, with about 2 games left, I mean, they really need to be very careful because they have 34 points currently. They have 2 games to play. They are 16th, and then they are just 3 points above the relegation zone, which is quite very risky because if they end up not winning some of the games and then the relegated players in the relegated zone start winning games, they will find themselves wanting. They are doing well. I'm not saying they are not doing well because they were able to play 2-2 with Chelsea. They are really doing well, especially getting to the close of the season. They just need to maintain that pace, at least win 1 game out of the 2 to secure their stay in the English Premier League. So that's for Andre Dede Ayew. Now, the next player is Daniel Amartey. Now, Daniel Amartey is attracting interest from a lot of clubs outside, the English Premier League. But I'll make sure to bring you updates on that. Now, he plays for Leicester City, and Leicester City might be relegated at the end of the season if they don't win their remaining games. Now, this is what they have. They have 30 points. They have 2 games left, and then they place 19th. Oof. They placed 19th, and I don't know. I think it would take a miracle for them to actually, survive this. It would take a miracle for them to actually survive this. So let's see what happens to Amartey and then Leicester City. So the next player is Baba Iddrissu, who plays for RCD Mallorca. They are also on the verge of relegation. Currently, they are 10 points above the relegation zone. It might seem as if it's safe, but it's not that safe. You see, they have 4 games to go. 4 games to go, and they are 10 points above. Imagine they lose all those 4 games, and then the relegated side, also one relegated side decides to win all their games. Real Mallorca might find themselves wanted. So they are also on the verge of relegation. Now, the next players whose team is on the verge of relegation is Joseph Aidoo, who plays for Celta Vigo, are on the verge of relegation. And they have 39 points. They place 13th, and then they have 5 points above the relegation zone, which I believe is not, okay. Unless you should have yourself distant away from the relegation zone. They need to win their rest of the games to secure their stay in the Spanish La Liga. Now, the next player is Felix Afena-Gyan. Now, Felix Afena-Gyan is really having hard time at Cremonese, and Cremonese has won only 4 games out of 35 games in the Italian Serie A. In fact, I'm one of those people who is a realist, and I don't think Cremonese are going to stay in the league. They are going to go out of the league. Now, they placed 19th, and then they have only 24 points. I don't see how they are going to survive this. I mean, they are going to be relegated at the end of the season together with Sampdoria. I don't see how they are going to survive this at all. So, I mean, Felix Afena-Gyan has one slot to show the world what he can do, and that is the under 23 African Cup of Nations and also the Olympics. Now let's talk about Edmund, addo, who plays for Spartak Subotica. His team is also on the verge of relegation. They are just 1 point above the relegation zone, and with that 1 point, they just have 35 points, and they really need to do something about it, because without that, Edmund Addo's team, coach Chris Wooten's favorite midfielder, might be going to relegation. Now the next player we are going to talk about is Alexander Djiku. Now Alexander Djiku's team, Strasbourg, might be going on relegation if they don't do well to win the rest of their games. They have some tough games to play against PSG and Lens. Abdul Samed Salih's team, Lens, they have a game to play with these two teams, PSG and then Lens. If they don't win those games, I'm afraid the possibility of them going on relegation would be very high. They are placed 14th, and then they have 5 points above the relegation zone. We have the likes of Elisha, Owusu, and Gideon, mensah, who play for Ayew. They are also on the verge of relegation, and if they are not able to win the rest of their games, I'm sorry, it's going to be a sad news for these players. And also that of Afriyie Barnieh, who plays for FC Zurich. He's not getting playing time, but the team already was in a bad state when he moved there, and they might end up going on relegation if they don't win the rest of their games. So guys, this is a solid 10 Black Star players who might find themselves wanting or might find themselves relegated at the end of the season if their team don't win the remaining games they have at the end of the season. So guys, let me know what you think about this. I mean, we have already 2 players who are already relegated, and the list is too much. The list is too much. I mean, me, the way I pride myself in these Black Star players, I even argue they play good teams. Certain teams need relegation. I mean, it's a very sad one. So guys, let me know what you think about this down below in the comment section. Which players or which teams do you think are going to survive out of this? Let me know that in the comment section. Today is Saturday. Guys, enjoy your weekend. My name is Edmund. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notification. We go vibe in the next video.